Hi, everybody, and welcome to this talk by Alexandra Doran about the Chinese Year of the Fire Rooster, which technically starts on the 4th of February, but Chinese New Year, I think, is just past now. So it's really nice to see so many different faces, and for me personally, from so many different times of my life, I can see people here going back probably 20 years, at least to 1997. So it's really nice to see you. Let's see if Alexandra is there. Alexandra, are you? I'll give Alexandra a moment just to get ready. Okay, she just looks like she needs a minute or two. So I'm going to introduce her. I know that most people here have been to, I think we've been doing this for 3 or 4 years in a row now. So every year we take this hour to have a look at the energy of the upcoming year. Alexandra is an expert in Chinese metaphysics, and I always ask her questions about, what's it going to be like? What do I need to do this year to make sure that, for me especially, to make sure that I teach things that are really useful and really helpful for people to be able to manage the energy of the year. Because for those of you who are not so familiar with this kind of work, especially in the West, I guess, we tend to take everything really personally and think that everything that happens is all about us. And so if you have a health problem, you have a relationship problem, or you have some really good fortune in your life, you think, oh, that's all about me. It's just, I'm amazing, or I'm having a terrible time. And we don't realize the power of the energy that's happening anyway. So we have our own energy, and then there's the energy of, we can say, the earth energy, the universe energy, whatever language you want to talk, and that connects with us. And we tend to overlook that. And so we think we take everything terribly personally. And what I've found extremely valuable about these talks with Alexandra is that it helps you to understand the big patterns that are happening in life, which are way beyond you personally. You're a part of them, but it's not all about you. And when you do that, it makes the problems much less personal. And it makes also the advantages, the good things that happen to you, much less personal. And that means that you can play with your life much more, and you can take advantage of the opportunities, and you can overcome the challenges much more easily, because it's not all about you, it's about having an understanding of the bigger patterns that are going on. So today, Alexandra is going to talk about the big patterns of 2017. Probably we'll get a little bit of a sense of the contrast from 2016, and hopefully also moving into 2018, because I think most people are aware that these are quite challenging times. Last year was a surprising and challenging year, perhaps not so surprising for those of us who were here, because she predicted pretty much everything that happened last year. It was extremely accurate, and I should not have been surprised by Brexit, but I was, and I should not have been surprised by the American election either, because it was all there a year ago, all explained. But anyway, here's Alexandra. I'm going to unmute you. There you are. And if you're ready, I think I'll let you take over.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. This is becoming a tradition to start the Chinese year like that. So the year, Fire Rooster year, will start on the 3rd of February, but the celebration is on this weekend, on 28th of January. So we didn't miss it. It's still about to come. So we can prepare. And I will share the screen. Thank you, Sarah, for the introduction. Just 1 second. I have a bit of a problem here. Is it? Please, Sarah, just confirm if it's
Yep.
working.
It's looking perfect.
Okay. So welcome to this presentation. As you already heard, my name is Alexandra Doran, and I will use this hour to introduce you to the year of the Fire Rooster. As I said, the year starts astrologically on February 3rd. Usually it starts on February 4th, but because of some calculations, this year it falls on February 3rd. The celebration of Chinese year is every year different, and it's connected to the lunar cycles and to the full moon. And this year it will start in few days on 28th of January. So, for those who are not familiar with the system of 5 elements, I will shortly make a short introduction. Then we will look and talk about the Fire Rooster nature, and we will take a look on the influence of the Fire Rooster year on the world events, spiritual aspect. Later, we will talk about health, a bit about business and relationships. So, 5 elements. Ancient Chinese were observing the energies, and they were observing the patterns, how the things are influencing human. And they invented, let's say, a system that they call 5-element cycles or 5-element system, where they use the word element for the energies. And everything we see, everything we do, everything we feel, any kind of job we have, everything falls under one of these 5 elements. And these 5 elements then further have specific interactions between each other. And this is how actually we can, let's say, read or kind of predict how a certain energy will interact with another, how will this manifest in the everyday life or a world influence. So the 5 elements are wood, in Chinese metaphysics are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And the year that is just about to start is Fire Rooster year. So let me explain a little bit about that, because a lot of people know that there are 12 animals in Chinese astrology, but there are also as well 5 elements. And animals change every 12 years, but they change also the element. So before Fire Rooster, in the 12 years ago, we had the wood rooster. In 12 years, we will have the earth rooster. So this is how the circles go. So it was 60 years ago that we had the last Fire Rooster year, which was actually the 1957. And the next one we will experience after the next 60 years, which will be 2077. So I'm saying this every time because it's quite a specific and special occasion to experience a certain combination of elements. So why is this a combination of elements? Because actually every one of the 12 animals is also keeping or carrying the energy of a certain element. And here we can see how through the years how the elements are switching. So in 2012, which was water dragon, we had water, earth, and wood. And then in the year 2013 was a water snake, so it was water and fire. And then a wood horse was wood and fire. And then a wood year, 2015, was wood and fire again. And then in Fire Monkey, this was last year, 2016, we had a fire and metal. And as you can see, it repeats in 2017. Through Fire Rooster, we have again fire and metal. The coming year is 2018, which will be an earth dog. which is earth and metal. So let me just say again, the 5 elements are actually descriptions of the characteristic of 5 energies. So it's not a completely the same way. The fire monkey and the fire rooster, they both keep fire and metal, but fire monkey is yang fire and yang metal, when fire rooster fire and yin. We will see later how this continues. Sorry, is everything okay? I'm having a break here. Do you still hear me, Sarah?
Yeah, your sound is breaking up a tiny bit.
Okay. It was saying to me that I don't have a connection, but I hope now it's okay.
Yeah.
So the Fire Rooster years, as I said, it consists of fire and metal element. So every of these 60 combinations of the element and the animal, we can describe it through something which we see in the nature. And the wood goat year 2015 was like a dry grass growing on a very dry, sandy environment. The fire monkey is described as a sun setting over the city, and it's giving this blinding effect. While the rooster year can be in nature described as the evening star in the western sky, which is actually the planet Venus. And everyone probably know that Venus is a lot about beauty and also love. So it is described as a star that arises after the sunset. So it's like continuation from the fire monkey year. So, and let's talk now about the characteristics of the rooster. As I said, in one way, I skipped one slide, I can see. So the rooster is a lot about looking good, showing off, getting attention. It's a lot about beauty and how we look. There is also another characteristic, and this is that the rooster is a very confronting, very direct, very bold, into the face, no hiding, no pretending, because rooster feels like he is the best. So there's nothing to hide, and he's not afraid to show his character. Then one of the other rooster characteristic is socializing. It's a very, very social energy. So when I talk about rooster, also if you are not born in the rooster year, I'm describing the energy that is coming in, as I said, at the beginning of February, although the influence can be felt usually even sometimes a few months before. And right now we can already feel it for a while. It's still a mix between the fire monkey, but it's the energy, so it will influence everyone. Of course, it depends on our chart, on our element, how we react to it, but the energy is coming in, and I'm describing the characteristics of the rooster as an animal, but actually we're describing this energy, and it's about socializing. It's all about people being in the middle of the crowd, trying to get attention. It's also about partying, singing, even drinking. It's also a lot about talking about others and gossiping, actually. It's a lot about as well comparing, looking for role models, getting inspiration through another person. Then the rooster is very talkative, so it's gonna be happening through talking. The message will go loud because the rooster is loud, and it's not when what he thinks he say. What he thinks, he even do. So it's like an immediate action. It's a very active energy and quick. So talkative and loud, also very proud, full of self-esteem, and it loves to show off. So it loves to show off and doesn't really care if you like what he thinks is good about him. For him, it doesn't matter. He thinks he's the best and he will show off on every occasion. On the other hand, the rooster is also a fighter. Everybody knows about the cockfights, which are forbidden, and we are not so familiar with it as maybe in the areas of Asia, but there have been stories that people even learn through observing how the roosters fight. They learn certain strategies and they learn about the braveness and being competitive. So what is typical for the rooster is that it's a fighter. It will fight for what he thinks is important for him, and it's very resilient. So it's not easy to eliminate. It's not a strong animal. It's not like other animals in Chinese zodiac, like a dragon or a tiger. It's just it seems like a little pretty bird, but actually it's a fighter, and it's not easy to get rid of the rooster. And I know on this picture it's a peacock, but it comes into the same story. So it's I'm the best. Everyone look at me. It's a lot about self-obsession. We are already experiencing that through selfies and Instagram and I don't know, Facebook. And it seems we are coming to like a peak of this self-obsession, ego, me, look at me in every minute, at every activity I'm doing. This is a very strong rooster characteristic. I'm not actually talking just about rooster, it's a combination of fire and a rooster. But partially it goes to all the roosters. Yes, as I said, selfie obsessed. So it's selfie. So if we thought, okay, we had enough, it's gonna be even more. And like reality shows, all these shameless exposing of yourself and your habits and your actions at any moment, because please, everyone, look at me. And there's another touch to the Fire Rooster, and that is that he really cares to be in the right circles. He wants to be part of the elite. He wants to fit in. He appreciates materialistic things, material things, money. It loves this sophisticated environment. And so on. So it's much nicer from the fire monkey, which was aggressive, but without trying that things would look at least good or nice or caring about the beauty. The rooster, the fire rooster will have inside as a politician this kind of aggression and fight and picking up the fight, but it will still do it in a charismatic, seductive way, so people will follow him easier. Then the rooster energy is a lot about romance and flirt and seduction and sexuality and actually fertility. So we are going to experience a year where there will be a lot going on this topic. On one way, because it's a social year, so it's in a way normal, but of course it will also have some negative side to it, but we will look at this later. So what I put here as a picture is you can see a rooster looking in a mirror. You can see actually a rooster like a narcissist in the water, observing himself, but in some way it's also his shadow projected. So what I would like to say, as I was describing the characteristics of the rooster as this ego, self-centered. So there will be no restriction to exposing ego. And then on the other hand, why did I write here Trump? Is because we are witnessing a very, very strong reactions on the political situation. It's not, I mean, as Sarah said, it's Brexit, is Trump. There's also other situations, but these two are really obvious and widely public. So in a way, while we react to the political choices of others, we start to see what is our shadow. What do we keep inside? Let's look further. I think I will have to come back again. So on one way, here are the positive sides of the rooster. And of course, there's always yin and yang. And there's also some downside of the rooster. In one way, it's an honest, direct, talented, social, popular, amusing, smart, with high standards, motivated, competitive, very active energy, wants to be center of attention, so puts a lot of effort in things wants that everybody knows it. It's a fighter for the beliefs, and it doesn't give up. And this can easily turn to a vain and arrogant and obsessive person with a short temper and very arrogant, as I said, and bragging and self-righteousness. And rooster cannot accept that somebody doesn't think like him. So it can show all these. And I was talking about Trump or Brexit, and like suddenly things switched around. Those who are supposed to be liberal and accepting. There's an echo. Okay.
Yeah.
So those who are supposed to be accepting and liberal and allowing things and respecting the other people's opinion. I mean, I'm not. Also, I maybe come into that group. Have this enormous opinion every day about what is going on, and looking at all the bad things, and being disappointed, and having a lot of negative emotions, and spend a lot of time and talking about it. And actually, the year is especially the one that's coming, as showing us the mirror. So we can see, like, if something really, really bothers me, if something really takes my time that I keep on talk about it, it means it has to do with myself. So we can see what is hidden, what are we not aware, what are our weaknesses. We will see more and more. The rooster is so direct, it will pull everything out. So it's also at the same time a year full of scandals, although we already had so many, full of scandals, and like it will challenge what the truth is. So we will start to see, like last year was still blind, like we were blinded by this sun, but actually it started to see the shapes. And this year, all the dirty laundry, everything that was not known will come out. And of course, when you look somewhere, either private or public, where there was so much effort to hide it. It is not a nice view. But this is the year about. So as I said here, so a lot of the dirty laundry, vanity, pettiness, gossiping. Sorry, my slide seems to be mixed. Just 1 second. Yes, I will make a comparison with the last year where things were a lot. It was a yang element. It was yang fire and yang metal, while now we are in yin fire and yin metal approaching. The difference is that yang is always big. It's around us, is a big picture. Yin year will be much more personal. So we will experience things much more personally, and we will deal much more with our own issues, or as I said before, shadows. So although we will be irritated by others, it will be much more about us. So in 2016, we were like still looking at what is going on, and we cannot believe it. How on earth can this be possible? And so on. In 2017, we will start to being confronted with our own darkness or our own unsolved things. And of course, it can be unpleasant. And as I said, is a year where it's about ego. So ego will have a lot of confrontations. And but of course, I will later on explain what is the positive side. Why are we going through that? So what you see on the slide is like 2015 was more introvert. It was more like obviously spiritual work, more traditional, more contemplating, going deep. Also where we don't want, there were things going underneath. We were not really clear what is going on, but we were learning about skills that we were not aware that we have. Maybe in the year 2015, we didn't really know what we learned, but in 2016, which was much more extrovert and very materialistic and ego-driven and a lot on the outside, the year energies were challenging us to have a different approach, the approach we should have learned in 2015. So to see the things from another perspective. We didn't learn, we got more and more, much more burdened or much more shocked, because the monkey was a very shocking year. It always waits for you somewhere, suddenly jump on you and turn everything around. So in 2017, in a way, is again a very materialistic year, and it's again, as I said before, an extrovert year, but it's much more about your real personal situation. It's about reacting ego. It's about being offended, ego being hurt, or pushing the ego with a certain reason. And in 2018, we are approaching, next year will be a year of Earth Dog, which is a year of a very, very strong energy that is very pragmatic. It's like putting new foundation, is like putting new structure, is like forming and supporting what is yet to come. So it looks like the 2017 is like a peak of releasing. We are releasing a lot that we don't know about ourselves or about the society we live in. Because actually the rooster, as we all know, is the one who wake us up in the morning. So it wake us up after the dark to tell us about the light. And as I said before, the fire rooster is symbolized as the evening star. But this evening star is guiding us through the night till the daylight returns. So it looks in these 2 years that the negativity is darkness, or however you want to call it, is winning. It's stronger. We witnessed war, we witnessed terrorism, we witnessed really, really cruel things. And it looks like it's taking over. But actually, it's because the duality is just becoming more obvious. It's just the actually getting stronger. That's why we can distinguish the dark more, or the negative more. So the rooster here is, like, as I said, guiding us through the night till the light. And usually they say that the darkness is the darkest before the dawn. So we are confronted with the dark, hidden, unconscious. When I say the word darkness and hidden, let's understand that darkness darkness exists only where there is no light. So the moment the light comes in, it cannot be dark. Like if you put a light in a dark room, you start seeing shapes, you start seeing everything. The more light you bring, it's not dark anymore. So this is the purpose of this year. It's to start to see about the society, about the system we live, about what ego is bringing us, and to see where we are, who we are, what is our darkness.
Alexandra, we've lost you for a moment.
Okay,
you're back.
I'm sorry. Here's quite the bad weather, and I think it influences the internet somehow. So I think that let's many people last year, as I said before, and as you probably experienced, felt very uncomfortable at least once in a year, but probably more than once. And probably a lot of people were thinking, what is this world? How can horrible? What is going on? With all the terrorist attacks and so on. And on the other hand, everything that exists around us, it has to do with us. It has to do with collective consciousness. So it's like mirroring a conflict inside of us. So the year 2017 is giving us a chance on a personal level to see what is this conflict, what is this that we are so much trying to hide, what we don't like about ourselves, what do we feel guilty about, what is this suppressed emotions. People like Trump are just pulling out what we have inside and confront ourselves and have to deal with something we really actually we put a light into that, so it automatically stops being negative and hidden and starts to integrate and become positive force, because it's still the energy. So in a way, this is what this year is about. Of course, everyone, as I said, it's a personal year, will have a lot of work to do, because one way or the other, it will be challenged. And ego will be in expansion. So everyone around you are going to react ego, and also you will be constantly challenged. Do you remember the rooster fights? Challenged by the rooster if you are going to be reactive and react ego, or you learn something. And I don't know if you saw on this slide before, I said ego versus self-love, because it's what to choose. What if ego is the thing that is actually blocking us from feeling good and from to solving the conflict in us. What can be the other thing? It's love. So we are learning again about love, and this time the love we really have to learn is not outside of us. It's not that we have to receive it from someone. It's love towards ourselves. So it's about self-love. So like ego and self-love. And self-love is really what I just said. It's about accepting the darkest side of yourself. And the rooster, together with Trump and all the others, will really, really challenge us to first accept ourselves, love yourself for who you are. As I said, Rooster is very competitive and resilient and wants to be the best. So actually it's driving us to recognize our highest potential and fight for it. So it only happens when you accept your shadow. And the easy way to learn about your shadow is through the mirrors that we are getting all around us. So if somebody is every day screaming at you, or even if you just witness people fighting, it cannot exist if it's not inside of you. So it's probably some suppressed anger that we have. Or if somebody irritates, why is it irritating? What are we suppressing? And so on. So in Chinese tradition, the roosters scare away the ghosts. It's probably connected, this is the belief, it's probably connected to the fact that rooster comes when the day starts. So in the daylight, it's believed there are no ghosts. Ghosts have no power. So you see again, the rooster is actually announcing the light is coming. But we still have to go through the night and be brave with it and trust the guidance of the Western star in the night. My slides just got mixed, so please give me a second. Okay. And why are we learning about that? And also another way, how are we gonna experience it? And what kind of lessons will we get is because the Fire Rooster characteristic, Fire Rooster is a master of manifestation. So what does that mean? No? So everybody knows about law of attraction and how it works and so on. And everybody who tried it also knows that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And like there is some kind of blockages between, like, let's say, imagining something and actually manifested it in. But on the other hand, everybody would agree that we do create a reality. So we are manifestors. So I think even in the book Secret, they say that thanks God there is these blockages in between, so the manifestation doesn't happen immediately, because we still have so many doubts, fears, negativity, that it would be really pretty scary if we will manifest right away. But the news is that in the Fire Rooster year, manifestations happen much, much quicker. So we will have to be extremely careful, but not in a scared way. What are we thinking? Or what do we believe? Or where do we put our attention? Because it will happen very, very quick. And there is a way that we just keep on believing that we are having bad luck and that everything is against us and there's a lot of disharmony around us, or we just use the consciousness, because it's all about which consciousness we want to react. So we use the consciousness about it, and we realize that, okay, I am a manifestor. I am responsible for my life, for everything that's happening. There's no outer influence on me. And therefore, I'm gonna manifest things for myself the way I read that, complaining and feeling sorry, feeling a victim. This year, the victim consciousness will be gone for sure. And those who cannot give up on being a victim will really experience how it is to be a victim. So, and this is why this story about ego is so important, because by now, mostly we were creating through ego. So through being the best, being the richest, getting this money, showing my power, and so on. But the real manifestation comes from the heart. And the heart is it's not about third chakra, so we are coming to the fourth chakra. So it's not about power, it's about love. So as I mentioned before, self-love is the beginning of the state where if you love and accept yourself, you can love, accept, and respect others, other person's opinions, other person's choices, have patience and compassion for others. And when we are in the state of love and self-love, accepting, not feeling the duality so much, then we manifest from love, from like being really aligned with who you are, what your purpose is, what your higher abilities are, and then we can really manifest. And this year is really teaching us and giving us the atmosphere where we can learn that. So it's very important, as I said, if there are these blockages in between what we think and want to manifest will be much thinner. So we can really manifest easily, but for that we have to use the higher consciousness, otherwise it becomes very destructive. I wasn't talking about the elements themselves, so the yin fire and the yin metal. So the yin fire is like a candle. It looks nice in the dark, and harmless, but actually we all know how quickly it can turn into a fire and burn the whole street or the whole forest. So this is the characteristic of yin fire, while yin metal is like a jewelry, is something that shines, but it's on the other hand like precious jewel or something like that. But on the other hand, it can be very, very sharp. So in a way, the combination of the two is actually the fire is melting the necklace, the precious diamond necklace, which is actually something which is not necessary because it's already shaped. So it's a strange transformation. So how we can translate that is is we can say that the yin metal is representing the ego that I mentioned, and fire is love and happiness. Is like transforming it. But both two elements can be very destructive. Like when the forest fire happens, it looks really bad. Everything burns down. So it's really the element of destruction. But on the other hand, it's on a long term is necessary for every forest to burn every now and then, because it gives a chance for new growth, for new animals or vegetation to come, and it even makes the earth more fertile. So this is one thing. And then another way we can describe the yin fire and yin metal is as a gun, because it's a metal thing which is about to explode. So it's metal, and fire is a lot about explosions. So it also represents the temperament, so like a quick responses and overreacting in one way. So we have to be careful. Now this is where I started with the manifestation. We have to be careful, because something very precious can turn, or important like manifesting, can turn into something very dangerous. And that's why we're being trained in a way that first we can release a lot of ego, a lot of prejudice, a lot of negativity through mirroring and shadow work, and in that way give space to react with higher consciousness than just reacting the ego. Yes, just 1 second. Yeah. Crazy. So I said ego versus self-love, year of manifestation, and also I said Fire Rooster is very, very direct, and it's not ashamed of anything. And in that way, plays openly, like you see all the cards on the table. And in a way, Trump behaves a little bit like that. He's all these bad things that I will not talk about, but he's not. He is obviously not ashamed of being everything bad that he is, which is in a way for many embarrassing or irritating or like inappropriate. But on the other hand, nothing is being hidden. It's not about. So I talk now a little bit about what is being in this year supported. So being politically correct, saying one thing, thinking another, doing the third, it's not gonna work. And we can, so like all these pretending to do good, but never really question what is behind, or what are the real intentions. Are we acting out of some kind of suppressed ego issues? And so this will not work. And we can also see through media and all these fake news and all these things around it, it will not work anymore, because everything will come out. We will learn about even more scandals, even more lies, even more pretending, even more of all that. It will happen on the world event scales and on the personal ones too. So it's for us happening like that, so that we are encouraged to first confront and see who we are, and to really choose to follow your own truth, not trying to be something else. So in one way, it's all about selfie, me, and all these things. But this is just the and superficial thing. So Fire Rooster seems a lot about just superficial. Nothing is there's nothing more to this agenda. But it's also to finally really meet your true self, or your own truth, and have a chance to fight for it and choose it. Of course, it's all up to us what we are going to do with the influences we are exposed. So I also prepared, so it sounds a bit unpleasant again, the year, I'm sorry about that, and it's not such a spectacular year. Like last year was, because Yang was more kind of powerful, and with Yin it's more happening all around, and although it's a direct year, but it will be direct towards you and how you experience things. But I choose, I looked back 60 years ago, and so I was talking all about these bad things, but the funny thing of all is that a study has revealed that in Britain, 1957 was the happiest year till 2009. So they were making a research from, I think, 1920 something till 2009, and they were using all kinds of documents, written documents or articles and everything, and they were measuring how many times certain words appear. And in that way, they noticed that the 57 was the happiest year ever in that period, and it never reached that peak. So it's not all that bad, as I was talking, because it is a very social, funny, amusing, popular year. So there will be a lot going on again in the entertainment. There will be a lot of opportunities for fun, for socializing, as I said. So maybe they will form new ways of how people will socialize, because it is about new things again. But let's just, so nothing really that big happened in 57, but it is a start of satellite. So Russia launched the first satellite, and this was the start, they say, of the space race. Then later on, United States also tried to launch a satellite, but didn't succeed. But anyhow, the competition was on, and as I said, like last year was a lot about the space and all the kind of new technology. As we see, this will continue, and we can see 60 years ago there were also things like that going on. I didn't put everything on. Then there was a Little Rock Central High School. Yes, this was an event in 57 when 9 African American students enrolled in the high school in Arkansas, and it was the first time that African Americans attending school, and it was a big issue. There was big problems. But at the end, that I would like to stress this, because it looked really bad. There was protests, or there were things going against that. But in the end, they were accepted, and everything from then on continue like that. So it might be because the rooster is very loud, so we will hear a lot of complaining, a lot of things going on, a problem and that, but actually it is leading forward, and is like releasing of prejudice, of all these things that I mentioned before. 57 was also, they say, a peak of the baby boomers, and you have to agree that we still are under the influence of the baby boomers, and probably this is the last breath of them 60 years later, which means that the new generation, because they will not live anymore, so it's not just them living, but also this kind of thinking is fading away, and probably the new generation, the new kind of thinking society will start. Because as I said, Rooster is a lot about society. It's a lot about this thinking and how people, in what way the people connect. So it's also a lot about connecting. Also, there was a big flu in Asia. It was a pandemic, and this is again a possibility for 2017. So we will definitely, because it's a fire controlling, now we say in these 5 elements how they interact, we say that the fire controls the metal because it melts it. So the metal is finance and all these systems, also the authority in a way, and the justice and so on. Because it's changing. So we will, for the fire changes the metal, transforms it. So we will experience or witness the changes in monetary system. It's already happening because last year was also fire and metal, as I said. There will be changes in values because this peak of ego explosion and selfie and self-obsessed and so on, as I counted before, will come to such an extent that it will have to turn to the other side. We can also expect, so also the power distribution will change, and we already witnessed that starting before and also in last year, and we can expect even more. So all these changes that we are already witnessing are still in this kind of exploding shocking and sudden changes, turnarounds, all the way till 2018, when somehow the new...
Alexandra, we've lost you. Alexandra? Okay, are you there?
But
we lost you for a moment. We lost you for a moment. Just while that's happened, because I'm noticing the time, what I'm going to suggest, because originally we said this would be an hour. So if you need to go, I am recording it. I'm going to suggest that, Alexandra, you talk about everything that you planned to talk about, even if it takes a bit longer, because I know you were going to say a little bit about the different elements, and some people might have come here and checked their elements. I'll be sending out a link to the recording in the next couple of days, so everybody will get that. So if you have to miss the last part, just come and check the last part of the recording and you can find that information that she's going to share as well. But I think it's worth doing it in full rather than rushing it just because we said that specific time. Okay, so if you do need to go, thank you very much. And if you would like to stay and can stay, please stay all the way to the end and we will continue to learn what's going to be happening. Okay? I think you're back.
Okay, I will. Yeah. Okay, so I know I keep on hearing you, so I realized that I have an internet problem, so I'm sorry about that. But as I said there, I was saying that we are still in this time of changes, and it's still let's say being rearranged or collapsing, or it's still moving from one side to another all the way. So we already witnessed this last year and even before, and it's 2018 when the things will start to build a bit more anew. So there will be new foundations. So now we're still in the time, and 2017 will also be like that, where things are, there's a turmoil, there's a unexpected
Alexandra,
so
we've lost.
It's,
We lost you again.
I don't know
I think
what to do.
I think you're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the wood element, because the metal is very strong in 2017, the wood element, which is the growth, it's gonna be, and metal is cutting the wood. So there will be a lot of change in education, also healthcare, and anything related to wood. So the feeling will be that there is no growth, no progress, which usually can feel rather depressing. But people will, for that reason, search even more to find new knowledge, to find new way. But they will have a need to learn. It will be this feeling of no progress, because every kind of growth will be quickly cut or burned by fire, cut by metal, burned by fire. But on the other hand, it means that the wood, which is represented by education, knowledge, growth, developing, it will be very valuable, because it will be sought after, because it will not be in such an abundance. Yes, as I said, because the Fire Rooster is a lot about fun and show and so on. So everything what is related to entertainment, music, art, also will be of a big importance. We'll manage to enjoy. So we can expect some new things going on, and like massive obsession. Maybe it will be video games or something like that again. So on the other hand, there will be a lot of scandals and divorces and dirty laundry being, we will hear about people every possible detail. So it will be in that way a very active year. And as I said, the way the media is structured now, it will not function anymore. We can expect big changes on that way too, because we are, in a way, we were for many years very much influenced by media. So let's see what the Fire Rooster will bring, what kind of change is going to be. So as I said, there will be no secrets. Like, we already found out the WikiLeaks, and I don't know a lot about many things, and also the pretending to do good and doing bad, hypocrisy and so on. All these will come out. So it will be not such a lovely thing to look at it, but we will have a choice to choose different and to build new things. Because metal is money and material realm, it will become very openly admitted by media or by fashion or by film industry that it's all money driven. So nobody will pretend anymore. So it will not be so much about talent or success in one way or another. It will be like, you have money, you can have everything. So it will be really obvious. But on the other hand, the values, because of this, the values will change. And it will most probably change for the better. Because after all, if I said that the metal is ego and the fire is passion and love, ego will suffer. So everything that is ego related will have to change. So the change is for the good. And as soon as you can let go of the ego, you will not suffer anymore. So then, again, it's continuation of what was last year. There will be a lot about space. Even there will be talks about aliens and dimensional things and all these parallel worlds, all this kind of thing is a really huge topic again. Other things I already mentioned. So it is a year, it's like continuation from the last year. It's a lot about new technology and a lot is being produced. Like yin fire and yin metal, it's directly representing startups, sudden money, all these kind of things are, all the inventions and so on are being very supported next year. So it's a lot about this really sudden appearance of money or the money source. So let's then look how this, if you're according to your personal element. So if your element is metal, so till 2016 it was a long time when the metal was not strong, and the last year the metal people could experience that they are getting back into their element, feeling good. And this year again they will resonate with its energy. So in that way it will be a prosperous year because they will somehow know how to react at the right time, and things will be coming their way. The water element is not so abundant, but the people who are water element as their personal element, having it as a personal element, will see many opportunities, will because somehow people will look for them, ask them or invite them to cooperate. So it's a good year as well. For the fire people, it's a very active year. It's a lot about making things happen. And it's a very good year for earning and for the money, especially in the summer. It's important for a year for yin fire. They should cooperate with others. The more they cooperate, the better they can earn, while yang fire people will experience a lot of competition and will therefore need to be careful who they choose and try to really not be turned off by the competition. The same goes when I was mentioning the metal. It's a little bit better year for yin metal than yang metal. So the earth, people with a personal element earth might feel exhausted because this year will be very, they will be quite productive, but somehow the circle, the reward will not be coming. So they will give out a lot, they will spend a lot of energy or money, and they will feel either physically or in another way exhausted, might feel. So they should just try to take it easy, which usually for yin earth people is not that easy. And just to mention, because I mentioned him before, Trump is also a yin earth person, so for sure he will have, we already see, a very active year. Then wood, people with personal element wood, they will be everything they learned by now and everything, all their talents will suddenly prove to be valuable. It will not be an easy year because wood doesn't really not like to be influenced by metal, but actually it will be in the end a very productive year, and they will feel valuable and useful. Okay. Okay. Where's that? Okay. So if we look at the career, I will talk about the fields regarding the elements. So fire and metal industries are going through major changes and becoming stronger. So fire is everything connected to energy, electronics, flying, then beauty, also, and so on. Also religious or spiritual things. So there will be, because it's the topic is again this year a lot about energy. So especially the field of alternative energy, solar energy, then other way energy. There will be a lot, many new inventions, many new, a lot of improving of things and new opportunities. And also in other way, there will be a lot going on. So we can expect in these fields change, but for the cars and everything that is metal, as I mentioned before, is being like forged. The metal is being forged. So it doesn't mean it will not be successful because it's under control of fire, but it will change. It will definitely change and reshape the way it functions now. So when I'm saying that for the fire industry, it will be more prosperous in springtime, and the metal in the autumn, fall months, which are August, September, and October. And on the other months, for both of it can be changing very quickly. So sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. And in that way, the metal will, the gold will continue to be falling. In the price of gold will be falling, probably for sure in the summer months, which are in Chinese May, June, and July, but they will rise again in August, September, and October. So the earth industry, which is property, selling, real estate, which is usually important for people, will also in a way not be stable. There will be things going on, but there will be possible to sell, but there will not be a lot of profit when we talk about real estate, or if you work in real estate. So the same goes with water, which is anything that has to do with transport, pharmacy. So it's actually not a good year for water and earth related industries. So the wood industry, which is, I mentioned before about it, so it's education, and it's also anything that is from the wood. So also the writing and publications and so on, and furniture, and as you can see from the wood, will be transformed again. So you see, the whole year is a lot about transforming. So we can expect that there will be a lot of changes, like no matter which field you're in, you will have to adjust to it, or already last year it started, but it's on the other hand bringing completely new possibilities. The year itself, it has this so-called academic star, which means this is additional energy influencing, which means it's a very good year for anyone who is a writer, or anyone who is like in a written way giving the knowledge. So in that way it's good, but we will probably experience some new approaches in education in general. So this year will be especially hard or challenging, or there will be changes nearly for sure in career for those born in March and September. Probably also for others, but those who are born in March and September will most likely experience the change in career very soon. It's whatever business you're in, it's a very good year for investing in marketing, PR, and promoting the business. So it's a lot because the rooster is very loud, talk shows off. So it's very important to show what your business and invest in the word being visible. It's a very good year. It will bring a lot of results. Okay, so when we come, let's move on to the health. So it continues because it's fire and it's metal. So there will be everything related to the chest issues, then specifically lungs. So chest, it also includes the heart.
Alexandra, we're losing you.
You lose me again.
Yeah. Oh, you're back again. It's okay, you're back.
Yes. Okay. So everything that is connected to breathing and to lungs and be still a problem. Already it started and it will be like that. Probably a lot of pollution, because explosion that these two elements symbolize is a lot about smoke, and the air gets really bad. So there can be problems because of pollution, allergies. Then on the other hand, digestive system so there will be again problems with that. I didn't write hard, but I wanted to say it. The year is rather dangerous again, and I will later on write about what kind of accidents, because the rooster is a very sexual animal, and it's a lot about fertility. We can expect all kinds of infectious diseases, but related to sexually transmitted diseases. So in that way, viruses and so on, it can be quite problematic. There will be a lot of because rooster is also like a knife, and it's about cutting. So there will be a lot of surgeries, especially rabbits, tigers, wood people can expect a year with that kind of complication related with surgeries. So the year is in that way for the health the worst for fire day people, yin and yang, for rabbits, tigers, and wood element people. So I said about accidents, so it's a lot. It was already happening in 2016, so it's a lot about fire accidents, kind of explosions, also chemical, because of chemical explosions. I want to say so. Chemical pollution, chemical explosions. Then again, we will witness a lot of shootings. I really hope the year 2018 should kind of really slow down when it comes to these shootings. Then all kinds of cuts, stinging, knife stabbing, everything that is related to knives or blades or something sharp metal. So I mean also like accidents, like if you work with something, be extra careful, especially if you are the person that is tiger, rabbit, wood, or fire person. So, and there can also be a lot of issues with electricity and electronic internet. Okay.
Are you there? We've lost you.
So I started looking that accidents would be a kind of cause. So it's a little bit dangerous here. So,
Breaking up, Alexandra.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, hopefully you're
so
back.
Again, it's yes. So be especially careful in August and also February regarding this accident. It's quite, but with minor injuries than last year. So when we what can we expect in the nature? So it's a lot again about explosions, fire, burning of buildings, volcano eruptions. We can expect earthquakes because Earth is very unstable. When the metal is so strong, it exhausts the Earth. It's unstable, so there will be quite a lot going on with earthquakes, slides, avalanche, so on. Then these holes that appear like lately quite a lot. So this energy trend is going on. We can part of the year experience drafts again, of course in the summer months. But on the other hand, when the water is very weak, climate, as we experience quite a lot, and we might in 2017 again experience quite some catastrophes. Okay, so in general, the energies in 2017, the worst months or the most tense and unstable months. Unstable means that it can suddenly become really bad or that it's dangerous, are March and September. And in general, spring and summer are where we will feel a lot of irritations and very tense atmosphere, while later on in autumn and in winter, this tension will somehow reduce, but there will be much more feeling of control, and people will be quite prone to any kind of addictions. I don't know, I missed on the slide, but Fire Rooster is also about addiction. So we might witness quite a lot going on with alcohol and maybe some new drugs. So in that way, it's again like challenging us because the addictions are in a way escapes from like here and now. And in that, as I mentioned before, we will have many ways of how are we willing to confront ourselves or not. So addictions are this year also quite strongly aspected. And then we come to the relationships. It's really, and that's probably why 60 years ago everybody liked the year so much, because it's really a romantic year and people get in this mood. Maybe because we experienced quite some worrying things the last 2 years and so on, and people will suddenly say, "Oh, I don't I don't want all these. I want to have fun for myself. No, I want to feel good." Or it will be this atmosphere, and people will be happy, look good, to be flirty, to check out the other ones. So it will be a lot about, as I said, socializing, and it's a very romantic year. So there will be a lot of new couples, many marriages, and this will be quite a topic. It's in that way especially good for those who know that they're born as an ox, dragon, or a snake. it's not such a good year when it comes to relationships for rabbits. So there is a challenge of divorce, especially if you don't have any water in your chart. And on the other hand, because it's such a romantic year and flirty year, Rooster is very, very flirty, very cocky, you know. Also, there will be really a lot of adultery, and there can be issues of third party. But on the other hand, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It can, for the couples or married people, can be also very loving and enjoying the relationship, the year of enjoyment. Yes, I think So here is missing the element fire. Element is having water. The men who are born in water element are having a very, very good year for in case they're single, for finding the right person, and it's a really good year to find a long-term partner, or getting married if you're already in a relationship. Then for fireman as well, the same as I said for the waterman. And then for the metal females, and for the for metal females as well, they can expect a lot of flirting. They will be very beautiful, very attractive to the opposite sex. It's gonna be especially for yin metal females. This will be a very, very romantic year, and very flirty, and a lot of romance going on. There will be many men interested, and yes, that would be. And for the wood element females, it's also a very good year in terms of relationships. I choose the relationship as an end of this presentation to show the happy part of it, but I would just take a short summary. So this year is gonna, in a way, challenge us. The rooster will get into the ring with us and challenge us about our ego. How do we react? What do we choose? How do we choose to stand up for ourselves? Is it through showing off, and or is it through working on self-love? On the other hand, we will witness a lot of releasing, personal and in general, and it's up to us to choose what are we gonna do with this opportunity. And it's important to be aware that the year that is coming later, it's in a way giving us possibilities of a really a brand new start. So Sarah, I would ask you if you did I forget something?
I don't think so. Seems very thorough to me, and really, really helpful. Really helpful. So that was great. I don't know if anybody has any quick questions they want to ask. If you have a question, just unmute or write it in the chat, or unmute yourself and ask. I don't want to take really personal questions about your personal element. If you want to pursue this work for yourself personally, the best thing to do is book a consultation with Alexandra. I've done that with some clients, and she's talked specifically about their energy for a particular year, so you could do it for this year. And we have used that. It has been so extraordinarily valuable, especially the situations where I've done it is where somebody's had a very big challenge in their life. You could equally do it if you have a big goal in your life and you want to get some much more specific advice. It's been gold for me in helping people to deal with some extraordinarily big challenges and to overcome them. I think that knowing some of the patterns we could expect during the year and knowing how the year's energy was combining with our own energy was extremely valuable. So I do recommend that you do that. And I will share Alexandra's details in the email that I'm going to send out later. So if you want to book something with her, you can. And you're also always welcome to ask me and I can put you in touch with her. There's a question here from Joe. What's the best way to prepare for what's to come, Alexandra?
The best one is to really understand that don't react too quick. Be aware that in some way or another you will be challenged on the ego level. So think a little bit and try to mirror, like try to see what is that something that kind of disturbed me or challenged me. What does it tell me about myself before like jumping on the first reaction? Because we will all be quite reactive. So and then, you know, too much of reacting will also kind of exhaust us. So be in that way. That's the best approach to it. And of course, it's always good to take the positive side, which is this socializing and learning from socializing. This is the best, and not judging, no, but trying to understand the other one, because everyone will have this lesson, no matter the element.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Hi, Alex. Oh, sorry.
Okay, Darren.
Yes, I'm first. Just a question about the yin and the yang. You say there's a yin year or a yang year in the personal part. So how do you know if you're a yin or a yang? How do you find that out?
So the year itself is yin fire, yin metal, because the rooster is in yin metal. Yang metal and yang fire, but for a person it changes like the day we are born. Okay, so if it changes every day and it always go in the same way. So it starts with yang wood, yang fire, yang earth, yang metal, yin metal, and then it comes yang water and yin water, and then again yang wood, so like 10 times, no? Yang wood, yin wood, and so on. So it changes every single day. So like if we take today's 25th of January and it's, let's say, a yang wood day, it doesn't mean that in 1 year it will 25th of January be a yang wood. So it changes all the time, and it can be calculated on I think we added a link where a person can calculate that. Was that a question?
Yeah, I think that's the question. Darren, if you look in, if you signed up personally for this, you'll have got an email 24 hours ago which gave you a link to a calculator. If not, whoever signed up if Jules signed up, she'll have got the email, and there's a link in there. There's a little calculator. You put your date of birth in and it'll tell you what your day element is, which is the one. So when Alexandra's been talking about, you know, if you're a water day element or a fire day element or any of that, it will tell you if you're yin water, yang fire, yin earth, yang metal, or whatever. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey there. There's the 6 of us here.
Yeah, we can see.
Hello, Sarah. Hello,
Hi.
everybody. I want to ask for some clients. She's expecting a Fire Rooster baby. So what can she expect? You are having an appointment when? I don't know. 26th of February. Yeah, this is like, we'll see.
Yeah, that's going to be a Fire Rooster born in the month of a tiger. So we know already by now. So the roosters are, I didn't mention that. I don't know why I forgot. I said everything about roosters, but I forgot to say they're very intelligent, very smart. And as I described, everything I was talking about it is the character of the rooster baby itself. So in one way, they're very they like nice things. They like to dress up, no matter boy or girl. Very curious, very direct what they want. But the year itself doesn't really. It's not such a personal thing. So it's more the day. So everyone who doesn't know this type of astrology, that's in English 4 pillars of destiny. But and we have like the year we're born is one animal, then the month is another, the day and the hour. So we have 4 animals. They can all be the same ones, but they can usually they're all 4 different ones. And the one which is the day, it tells the most personal character. But the rooster kids usually are very very intelligent and very curious and very active and appreciating knowledge and as I said, beautiful things as well. All the good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Alexandra, there's a question here about career advice for Yang Fire. I guess that's in relation to this year. I'm not quite sure. Any career advice for people who are Yang Fire?
So it's a Yang Fire. January 28th is Ox month. So it's a Yang Fire born in Ox year. Okay, career-wise, it's a very, very good year for earning money. It's like the career you're in should bring new opportunities for directly earning more money. If the career you're in is not bringing you this possibility, then probably there will be a change in a career. But now I'm reading that is it significant that my birthday falls on the Chinese New Year? Not in that way. This year is 28th of January celebrated astrologically, which means when I say astrologically means when the aspects change. It's on 3rd of February. But what is true, it's a full moon now. So because it's always a full moon. So the full moon right now is in Aquarius, and it's somehow bringing new consciousness in. It's like confirming the consciousness of change that we had, I think, in 2012. So in that way, it is significant. So this year, you will experience the competition, but you will have a chance directly through career opportunities. So be very open for what kind of new opportunities you get. It will be a very good year for earning more money. So that's advice is like be proactive. So, maybe in a way like search the market, maybe look on your own for new opportunities, because they will be there, but maybe you have to look a little bit more, because there is quite a strong competition, because you are Yang Fire and it's a Yin Fire year, so the Yin Fires are your competition, which is, it's not a bad thing. But
there's a question here from Lucinda. Did you say that Yin metal was a good year for romance?
Where is it? Was a good year for romance, or was that? Oh, yes. It is a good year. Let me think. Yes, it is a good year for Yin metal females. A very good year.
Okay. Are there any other general questions? I don't really want to get into personal questions. At the end, if Alexandra is happy to answer them, that's fine. But it's, when we start talking about your particular element and your particular aspect, is not interesting for everybody else. So any other general questions, first of all? Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Alexandra.
I do have a quick question, if it's okay, Sarah.
Oh, okay, Anna, go ahead.
Alexandra, you were saying about people have a sense of no progress happening for them this year. Can you expand on that a bit more? Because I was really intrigued in terms of the work I want to do this year, of how I can bring forward some support to people when they're feeling no progress.
Yes, it's in that way it's a little bit so by the way, metal years are always depressive, no? So, and water also, but let's not go in that direction. So what I meant is like people will search a lot of knowledge and learning and the work you do probably because they have a feeling of no progress. It doesn't really mean that there is no progress. It feels like there is not, because the wood, when it grows, it's cut immediately. So you can't really, like measure it. You don't, it's already used for something. So in a way, it's just that the feeling of no progress will motivate people to try to get support or knowledge and help. On the other hand, the growth will not be obvious, like how to say that? What we will learn, it will give the concrete results later on, so which is 2018. But it's very, so like, if the topic is the releasing of the ego, something that is a topic of ego, maybe it looks hopeless because it will go on many levels. But the result of what we learn now as such will be in 2018 very, very valuable. But on the other hand, it is a year of manifestation, so there will be results. It's not in that way. It's just like the feeling of lack of growth. So like, I must be better, because the rooster always wants to be the best. And it will always be like, oh, I'm still not good. I must be better. I hope I answered.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any more? Well, thank you very much, Alexandra. I'm actually going to try to write as much of it down as I can and share it in an email as well, because I think that might be useful to be able to come back to a summary. Many times in the past year, I've thought, what was it that she said about this or that? So I will try to share some of that with you in writing. I'll send an email out. I find it fascinating, and I'm guessing because we always get an incredibly good response for this webinar every year, I'm guessing that everyone else finds it really fascinating too. So thank you very much for preparing all that information for us and sharing it with us. As I said before, if you want to do some direct work with Alexandra, then I will give you the details of how to do that. I absolutely recommend it if you can possibly do it. Find out more. If you work with me, it's really valuable as well. Share it with me. It makes so much difference to what we can do. Yeah, and I really wish everybody a very good year. Although it sounds so challenging, all my training and all my experience has shown me that how we behave during the challenging years determine the really big results that we get. So when we handle challenging years well, when we take them as an opportunity to learn and to grow, when times get easier, we reap the benefits, while other people who didn't do that continue to struggle afterwards because they haven't built the foundation. So this is an incredible year for us to build stronger foundations. You may not get the satisfaction of seeing all the results this year, but if you take it as your growth period, you will absolutely definitely see the results later. That's happened to me so many times, and I've literally watched people who gave up, and then a year or two later they're looking at me and they're saying, wow, you've really got a strong foundation now, you've really progressed, and I can see I just stuck through it and they didn't, and you benefit from that. So I want to encourage you to take every single negative bit of information you've been given today and turn that into something that's really powerful for you, because that's what makes strong, resilient, powerful human beings who can actually do good in the world. So it's a great year for us, really. Thank you very much, Alexandra. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Jeannie, if you want to see if you can catch a little bit of something from Alexandra around your question, stay here. I'll persuade her to stay. I hope to see you soon, somewhere or other. So thank you.
Thank you from my side as well. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you for everyone who could join me. It was really my pleasure. And see you next year, if not before.
Cool. So Jeannie had a question. We'll just look at this about career or financial advice for Yin Earth born in the year of the Fire Horse, February the 9th.
Let me just see. Yin, that's very similar in a way to I keep on talking about him, I'm sorry, but it's very similar than Trump. He has a similar situation. In Earth, the career, financial advice. So the water, unfortunately, is not too strong, and the water in 2017, and the water is your money for the Yin Earth. So in that, the water period is a winter period. So until, let's say, November, December, there is no really abundant chances for the finances. So that's not such a good news. But then on the other hand, there will be support. But it is a year where you can, I'm sure, like all Yin Earths are very active people, and they're multi-talented, so they have different fields of talent where they already proved something. So this is like, so I'm sure that you by now already have quite some success in whatever you're doing. So in this year, it's more like, it's not to be, when it comes to career, it's not to be on first row, but it can be behind and let the others do things for you. So it's more like behind the work behind. Actually, let me just think more. February 9th. Okay, so it's a year of fire. I'm sorry, then a fire horse. I thought the month of fire. Okay, this changed the things a little bit because it's a tiger. Let me just think a little bit. Okay, then the career field. So there is possible, and it's advised that the skill that you learned before, something that you already master, you will have this year a chance to use it differently. So somehow you will find out, or somebody will find you and offer you another type of job where your skills will be used in another way. So maybe it is again already a time that also for you that you check a little bit. It's something you already master, but you can use it in a much more useful way. I hope I answered.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Alexandra.
So it was better than because I thought it was the month, but the month is actually tiger. So it's good.
Alexandra, could you share your slides with me? Just send me the slides, so that I'm going to write a blog today and summarize some of what you've said, and then also share the presentation with everybody on my list. I might as well, because
for some reason they got really mixed up.
It doesn't matter. It's a quicker way for me to be able to refer to everything, and it just helps me to write. So it'd be really helpful if you could just send that to me, just so that I can write something for everybody. That would be cool.
Absolutely, that's perfect. Thank you. And also, I will have it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.
Thanks. Bye.